Today from r/LetsNotMeet. Guy chased us home. Last year I was going out for drinks with my friends. But since I had to go to university the next day, I only stayed till around midnight. My boyfriend promised to pick me up and go home with me, because I don't like to take the subway alone at night. But since I was pretty drunk by then, I took a little too long walking out of the pub. Unfortunately, we had to wait for the night bus, with multiple stops, since the subway closes on weekdays at night. For context, my boyfriend and I don't live together, but very close to each other, around 15-20 minutes walking distance. Both areas are pretty bad. He lives near a train station, many crackheads, homeless, and sketchy people around, and I live in a cheap bad district with a high crime rate. My building has two entrances on two different streets because it's a corner building leading to a patio, and then to the apartment building and its doors. To get into my apartment, I have to open 3 doors. I usually use the entrance door that is nearer to the subway and on the side of my apartment. We had to take 2 buses to go home. One drove us to the train station, and the next one from the train station to my apartment. After getting out of the first bus, we realized that we would have to wait for around 20 minutes or something for the second bus to come. And since I really had to sleep at home, class the next day, I didn't want to stay at his place. My boyfriend didn't want to wait, so he persuaded me to walk instead of taking the bus, which sober me would have never done. But since I was still drunk, I didn't care how we got home, so I agreed. So we started to walk home and passed a few sketchy people, mostly people selling drugs, etc., but nothing really bad. Then I saw a guy walking in our direction, and I somehow got a bad feeling. So I told my boyfriend that I wanted to change to the other side of the street because I didn't want to walk past him. Suddenly the guy yelled, "Hey!" as if he wanted to ask us for something, but we ignored it and continued to walk. He got louder and louder until he started to yell. I could see him from the corner of my eye that he was coming over, so I whispered "Run" to my boyfriend, took his hand and ran the fastest I could while he was chasing us. We ran, and then made a turn to the right, the street where I live, and hid. It seemed like he was gone, so I took my keys out and we started running towards my building, taking the other entrance of my building that I normally don't use. As I was trying to open the door, my boyfriend started panicking, throwing me inside the patio and closing the door aggressively, and then pushing me into the building. He explained that the guy came running from the other side of the street, meaning he took a shortcut, probably thinking we were going to run to the subway or bus stop. If we had taken the other entrance, he would have been clearly the faster one. Being in shock, we unfortunately didn't call the police, which I regret. I stopped going out for drinks clubbing for half a year after this and slept at my boyfriend's place for 2 weeks because I was scared he would come back. I think the worst thing about this is that he really wanted to get us for whatever reason. I still want to know why he chased us for so long. 2 weeks later, a girl a few streets away was assaulted in front of her building by a guy who chased her home. I wonder if it's the same guy or just a coincidence. So to the guy who chased us, let's not meet.